Greetings, everybody. Welcome to my critique program, Hi-5, So-So, TKO. In this program, I'm going to do special fun facts about certain things in the media, whether it's a certain TV show, movie, pop culture, music or radio show, literature, fun and games, and foods and beverages. We will begin with our first segment. Let's go. Bewitched is a classic American fantasy sitcom that aired on ABC from September 17th, 1964 to March 25th, 1972. The show follows Darren Stevens, a New York City advertising executive, and his marriage to a domestic witch named Samantha. The series also features Samantha's family and friends, who belong to a secret society of witches and warlocks. Whenever Samantha intended to use her nose twitching witchcraft, Darren would loudly express his disapproval. He discouraged her from using magic, in spite of his general approval of it in terms of like professional purposes, economical purposes, and social purposes. Many of Samantha's close relatives, like her malevolent mom, Endora, her quirky Aunt Clara, her sassy doppelganger cousin Serena, her tricky mischievous Uncle Arthur, and Endora's estranged husband Maurice, often clash with Darren, as well as with his friends, colleagues, relatives, and clients. As the series progressed, Samantha and Darren had two children. Tabitha, who was seen as like a materialistic young witch in training, and her little brother Adam was like pretty much developing his skills of being like a junior warlock in training. The neighbors across the street, Gladys and Abner Kravitz, were always suspicious of Sam, Darren, and their family. However, Darren's parents were not always very aware of Sam and her side of the family, being that all of them were witches and warlocks. They were even hardly unaware of how Tabitha and Adam were, by means of like when it came to Sam's side of the family. My high five for this classic sitcom highlights its transformation from black and white to color, as well as many of the enhancements the show had, and of course the two spin-offs it had, involving Tabitha and something later involving Adam. My so-so for Bewitched, I focus on Darren himself, because I really believe that Dick Sargent made a good Darren better than Dick York did, all by means of the character Darren himself based on his behavior. Now my TKO for Bewitched centers on the show's overarching theme, the whole thing between being ordinary versus being extraordinary, such as being a natural mortal versus being an uncanny witch or warlock. Bewitched is currently encored on the Roku channel, Nextstars Media's Antenna TV, and Memorable Entertainment Television, also known as Me TV. Superbabies is a sci-fi comedy film that premiered on August 27th, 2004. It was the sequel to the 1999 film Baby Geniuses. The movie follows a controlling media mogul named Bill Piscine, who is determined to manipulate kids' minds through television. When I say manipulate, I mean he was eager to use high tech manipulation. However, four toddlers from the previous film, Archie, Finkelman, Alex, and Rosita, along with a remarkable kid wonder named the Kahuna, were ready to stop Bill's plans at separate times. At the beginning of the film, Archie informs Finkelman, Alex, and Rosita about Kahuna's abilities and background. Although the three toddlers were initially skeptical, Kahuna soon arrives to help them after an encounter with some of Bill's henchmen. Later, Kahuna takes the toddlers, along with their caregiver Kylie, who was the niece of the guardians of the toddlers, Stan and Jean Bobbin, to his headquarters where he gives the toddlers new alter egos: Rainy Baby, Cupid Girl, Bouncy Boy, and Baby Courage. However, the toddlers did not really realize that their alter egos were based on their true distribution, their true selves. After Kahuna is captured, the toddlers decide to act and stop Bill's plan. When Kylie informs Jean and Stan that Bill's a con artist, they all agree to support Kahuna in his efforts to foil Bill's mind control scheme after all. After Kahuna escaped captivity, he returned to his headquarters where the toddlers and their superegos, along with the Bobbins, were prepared to confront Bill and his team. As Bill was on the verge of achieving his goal, he and Kahuna revealed their true relationship. They were brothers in a long-standing rivalry since their childhood. Additionally, it appeared that Kahuna and Archie Brainy Baby were simply able to stop Bill's plot after all. Nevertheless, Bill did press on and was somehow later transformed into a baby genius through Kahuna's technology. But in the end, Kahuna embarked on his next mission and made Archie an honorary junior Kahuna. My Hi-5 rating for Baby Geniuses 2 emphasizes that individuals can exhibit remarkable qualities regardless of how old they are or the realism of the whole thing. My social rating pertains on the use of family rivalry dynamics, particularly when it evolves into a protagonist versus antagonist scenario. Finally, my TKO for this whole movie is this portrayal of individuals using such high-tech powers and attention in order to manipulate people or use any other kind of antagonistic way to get people's attention. The walk-in M&M spokes candies have been the face of M&Ms since 1954. From their commencements through the early 1980s, the red M&M and the yellow M&M served as the primary mascots, representing the two original flavors, plain, we all know it now as milk chocolate, and peanut. Years on, as more flavors and colors were introduced, M&Ms began to be recognized pretty much by their colors, each associated with a certain flavor. Each M&M character has a distinct gender and personality. Red, one of the males, represents the milk chocolate M&Ms. He's portrayed as a rebellious, sarcastic leader. Yellow, who pretty much is the main mascot for peanut M&Ms, and is pretty much considered as Red's little sidekick, is considered as being optimistic and clumsy. Blue, who represents the almond M&Ms, is described as much as like a confident party guy. Orange, who symbolizes either the pretzel M&Ms or the crispy M&Ms, is pretty much of a extreme nervous wreck who's always afraid of getting eaten. Green represents peanut butter M&Ms. She's pretty much considered as like a sassy, confident diva. Brown, who's pretty much a symbol for dark chocolate M&Ms, is pretty much of like a serious, idealistic lady. Purple, the newest addition, and the alternative symbol for peanut M&Ms, shown as being quirky and a little confident at times as well. I give a high five to these spokes mascots because they pretty much demonstrate what it's like to be a spokes metaphor than they are being a spokes mascot, all by means of their personalities and their flavors and their colors. My so for M&M's is like pertains to the whole Halloween ad where red and yellow were assumed to be like kids in their early childhood trick or treat. And then when it came to also came to like the Christmas ad where after red and Santa encountered each other, they both fainted. Yellow pretty much was still confident in the whole thing. My TKO is because I can't stand red sarcasm, yellow's clumsiness, brown's serious demeanor, or orange's extreme cowardice. And even though the M&M characters are really legendary, you can enjoy them no matter what. Do You Believe in Magic was performed by the Canadian American folk band The Lovin' Spoonful back in 1965. Although it was a popular folk hit from the 1960s, the song conveyed meaningful perspectives through its lyrics and its themes. It was also used in certain marketing campaigns. Interpretations of this 1965 song vary. Some focus on themes related to talent and rigorous training, while others highlight metaphors involving curiosity and his desire for changes and hopes of meeting somebody significant. You Believe in Magic was also featured in McDonald Land ads from 1992 to 2003 and was used as a Campbell's ad jingle back in 2023. I have high praise for this popular 1960s folk hit due to its lyrics, melody, and underlying meaning. I seldom find it mediocre or poor. Thus, I would really give it a high five no matter what. Dr. Daniel Amen is a prominent psychologist and the CEO of Amen Clinics. He is widely recognized for his seminar shows, which are frequently broadcast on PBS, thanks to the support of PBS stations, viewers like you. These seminars are primarily based on his popular self-help books. His numerous publications aim to encourage individuals to shift their mindsets and perspectives, influencing their dietary habits and behavioral patterns. Notable titles include Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, and Change Your Brain, Change Your Body. Additionally, Dr. Amen has written works that clarify misconceptions about mental and developmental health, such as memory rescue and raising mentally strong kids. He also addresses strategies for managing anxiety, attention deficit disorder or ADD, and automatic negative thoughts, ANTs, in the books like Healing ADD and Conquer Your Negative Thoughts. His bibliography extends to cookbooks that support mental health, as well as two children's book series. I appreciate Dr. Amen's books for the popularity of being on the public broadcasting service. My so rating for this indicates that limited airtime affects their ability on other broadcast networks, on the news organizations at ABC News, NBC News, CNN, or on many informative cable networks like Discovery, History, TLC. My critique, which I call TKO, is relatively unknown for these books, all because these books effectively offer insights into improving life and are highly engaging in their approach to personal development. So I still give it just either a so-so and a high five, no TKO. Hershey's peanut butter brand Reese's introduced a new version of their peanut butter Big Cup, Reese's Chocolate Lava Big Cup. It was released on August 27th, 2024. It features many of Reese's classic favorites and appearances, but with a gooey way of enjoying a chocolate lava cake. Although the chocolate lava Big Cup has its decency based on taste and texture, it still receives many poor reviews, mainly because people prefer the traditional Reese's over many of the approvals of it, such as this one. My positive assessment of Reese's Chocolate Lava Big Cup highlights it, like I said, its decency of taste and flavor and texture, as well as the many improvements that Reese's has done. On a neutral note, I have some feedback regarding the advertising approach, the portrayal where overly enthusiastic people are trying to consume volcano lava, which may not resonate with all audiences. Lastly, my TKO addresses the factors contributing to low ratings for this product, despite its good flavor. Even though that's my TKO for Reese's Big Cup chocolate lava, I don't see anything wrong with this at all. Mutations is an action figure line created under the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brand. Like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures, the Mutations are produced by Playmates Toys and officially debuted in 1992. Unlike the standard versions, Mutations were action figures that allowed minors to shift the characters into their mutant forms from their natural forms, and vice versa. Nowadays, Mutations action figures, along with many other Ninja Turtle figures, are being marketed in elaborate styles and amalgamated versions like with other characters like He-Man or from the iconic Universal film movies monsters such as like Frankenstein, Dracula. I highly praise these old school toys for their ability to provide significant development stimulation, which can benefit modern toy making. However, I give Mutations a mediocre rating because their value can vary and sometimes reach decent amounts at auctions or pawn shops. Overall, I believe these toys are largely unrecognized by Gen Z and Gen Alpha. That's my TKO for that whole thing. I thank you for joining me for Hi-5 So TKO. If you have any comments, questions, or would like to give your own critiques for my different segments, listings will be on the next page. And until next time, this is Jimmy Johnson for Hi-5 So TKO. Enjoy your day.